Hello, I apologize in advance for my English. It's not my native language, so if I make any mistakes, please forgive me. Today we're going to learn the 2 to 4 player game Sonar family. It's ages 8 and up. It takes about 30 minutes. You can play with 2 to 4 players. It's best to play with 2 players or with 4 in teams of 2. So each player gets one role on every team, but you can also play with 3 or 2. So then the one player can play both the radio operator and the captain. First, we're going to have a look what's in the game box. So we have this big screen with nice artwork to place between the 2 teams. We also have these transparent sheets. Of course, we have the rules. They're just 4 pages, very simple. We have 4 times 2 different maps. So for every player we have the same map. So we have 4 times Mission Archipelago, we have Mission Umbria, Mission Antarctica, and we also have Mission Jules Verne. So we also get this little bag with 4 dry erase markers. Markers with like this eraser, so we can easily dry erase something. So first of all, we're going to do the setup of the game. I'll take my camera. So we are going to set up this first mission Archipelago. They say in the rulebook that if you play your first game, this is the best one to play because it has no extra rules, and it's quite, it's easy. It's just the simplest. So every player, if we suppose we're with 4 players, so every player gets one map. So this is for the radio operator on my side, on my team. This is for me, for the captain on my team, and then the other team gets the 2 same maps. Also the radio operator of each team gets this special transparent sheet where you can write on. Then we place the back cover in between us like this. It has nice artwork. So now the other team cannot see what we are writing. So the setup. This is the most important thing. We have those maps. Every player gets a eraser marker. Then you choose who's going to play captain, who's going to play the radio operator. Basically, the captain decides where your submarine moves and which actions you take, and the radio operator is trying to find out where the submarine of the other team is by drawing lines on this transparent sheet and following their course. So normally you choose your starting position randomly on the map, the starting position of your submarine, like this, for example. I start here. But in Mission Archipelago, and they suggest that you start. One team starts in the upper left corner and the other team starts in the upper right corner. I'm not going to do this for teaching the game. I'm just going to start here, okay? Then, so each team has their sheets and each team has divided the roles. Next, we are going to randomly pick a team to start the game. So, just random. Doesn't make. It's not that big of a deal who starts, I think. So, playing the game. I want to just tell a few things about the maps before we start. Here you can write the name of your submarine, and this is your submarine. This is supposed to be your submarine with 2 hit points. So you lose the game if you get hit twice. So you draw 1 hit point, and when you take a second one, you lose. So you can't get hit twice. The radio operator, his map has also the same thing to write down the name of your submarine, and also has this note session if he wants to take any notes. So playing the game. On your turn, the captain is going to take one of 5 actions. Navigate, activate the sonar, activate the silence, launch a missile, or surface. So to navigate, the captain is going to navigate his submarine 1 space in horizontal or vertical direction, and he has to shout out where he goes. So up, down, left or right. Then he draws a line on his map where he's going. So suppose I am going upwards. Then I draw a line starting from my current position to my position where I am now. So I went up. I shouted out loud, up. So the radio operator on the other team knows that I went up. So what is he doing? He's starting with a random position on his sheet, like this. So he can move this around. So he knows I went up. So he draws a line up, like this. And like this, he's going to follow around my moves. So what is another option to do? Oh, I forgot something. When you navigate, you also take 1 energy. You have to draw 1 energy right here, like this. So this is like an energy gauge with 4 empty spaces. So when you navigate and you move your submarine, you have to fill in 1 of these 4. This is energy which you can use to do some of these actions. So this is the action navigation. Another action he can take is activate the sonar. So he can spend 2, like you can see on the sheet, he can spend 2 energies. Suppose he has to. So like this. Suppose he has 2 energies, then he can activate his sonar. He wipes out his energies, he uses them, and he says to the other team, I'm using my sonar, and I want to know the position of your submarine. But the other team is not going to give away their position exactly, of course. They're going to tell in which line or column, so which line or which column they are. So suppose they say, oh, we are in column D, this one. The radio operator, maybe he can write it down on the notes, or he can just remember it or draw like an arrow on the map or something. But now that he knows that the other submarine is in column D, he can start to, you know, guess where the submarine is. So he didn't start here, that's for sure, because you can't go on an island, you can't go on spaces that doesn't have spots. So he can be here right now, for example, or here. But then next turn, when he say left, when he says left, you know this is not right, you know, because it's not possible. So like this, the radio operator is going to follow with the instructions of the captain of the other team and trying to guess where the submarine of the other team is. So this is the sonar action in which the other team announces which column or line they are. You spend 2 energies for that. Another action you can do is activate the silence. This costs 3 energy. So you use the energy that you have acquired, and then you can activate a silent move. You draw a line from your current position to one of the 3 possible dots around you without announcing your direction out loud. So suppose I announce silence, I have to announce that I use silence, and then I make a move without saying where I'm going, like this, for example. It's important to note you can't go into islands or other obstacles which don't have dots on the map, and you also cannot cross your own line, so you can't do this. You can't go to a place where you have been before, and also you cannot return on your previous steps. So I couldn't go from this position, I couldn't go up. So that is the silence action. It's basically to throw off the radio operator of the other team where you are. It's a very strong move. So that's the silence action. The surface action is this one. Basically, you're going to suppose that you have a long trajectory like this. And the problem is, of course, it's hard to cross from this point maybe to this point of the map because you cannot cross your own line. You cannot go to a point where you have been before. A solution to that is using the surface action. So you are going to announce I'm using the surface action, and then you are going to surface at the place where you currently are, and you announce it out loud. So you say, I surface at B7. You surface at B7, you announce it out loud, and then you can erase the whole trajectory that you have traveled in the sea, and only your current position you keep on your map. So this way you have a little more possibility of moving again on the map, but of course the other team knows exactly where you are then. So how do you win the game? When you more or less found out where the other submarine is, you can launch a missile. This is the last action you can take. For 4 energies, you can launch a missile. So there's one rule: you have to be, your own submarine has to be in the same sector as the place where you're going to launch the missile. So suppose I am in this sector and I think the enemy submarine is here. Then I can, so you see the map is divided into 4 sectors. The story or the background is that these sectors have different water densities, so the missiles cannot launch from one sector to another. That is impossible because of the water density. So you are going to say I launch a missile at D8, and the other team says it's a hit or a miss. If it's a miss, well, that's no good. But then they know that you are in the sector of D8 where you're trying to launch a missile. So you're giving away information if you launch a missile. If it's a hit, the team, the other team takes 1 hit. Right here, he draws it on his little submarine, and that's 1 hit. If you take a second hit, you sink, your submarine sinks and you lose the game. So suppose I hit the submarine. Maybe I can cross it off on my map. Well, in this instance, it would be the of course it would be the radio operator who knows the location of the enemy submarine, and he says to the captain, I think I know where they are. You have to launch at D8. So the captain always gives the orders, and the radio operator, he just sits there in silence, following around where the enemy submarine is. But of course, you can always talk to each other, the captain and the radio operator. So basically, this is how the game plays. You can also play the game in real time, in which you don't wait turns. So in this example, I take an action, so I move. I say up. Then the other team goes and says I go down. So the radio he says also up. So the radio operator follows it. Then I say right. I draw right. So this is the normal game, which I just explained, but you can also play the real-time version in which you don't wait for each other. So you just go up, left, up, right, etc. Only when you use other actions than navigate, you have to yell stop, and then you say I'm surfacing, I'm using the sonar, etc. Don't forget, you have this energy gauge. You have to fill in one of these 4 empty spaces when you navigate, so when you move, and when it's full, of course you cannot fill it in extra, but you can still move, right? But if you have enough, if you have 4 energy, you can use these actions, but you don't have to, of course. So this is how you play Sonar Family. Thanks for listening. See you next time.